Here is the Sammy University of Washington Bothell Library Tour game, where you will tour the library with Sammy the salamander. We take advantage of the Zune's ability to detect other Zunes in the region as a way for Zune to communicate and hide several Zunes inside the library. And the gameplay requires the player accompanied by Sammy go tour around the library, go to different places in the library, and the fact that the embedded Zunes in the library will detect the player's location and thus advise gameplay. Here we are seeing there are some initial puzzles that you have to solve, and Sammy will guide you to the library. Here we are entering the library. Once inside the library, Sammy will guide the player to different parts of the library. In the beginning, the player is given a puzzle to find a book, and here Sammy shows the player to go to the information commons of the library and get on the computer to find the location of the book. The Zunes hidden around the information commons will detect that the player is in the area, and at this point, Sammy will explain to the player that she needs to get on the computer and look for the book and once the book is found from the computer, the player can enter the information into the Zune, and Sammy will guide the player to go find the book on the third floor. And here, once the player reaches the third floor, the book has been found on the Zune, and then they detect that a page is missing. The rest of this game involves finding who torn out that page, and to solve that puzzle, Sammy will give the game will actually give the players several clues, and then the player will have to navigate to different part of the library, learn about where reserve books are stored, learn about where quiet studying areas are. In this way, the player will tour the entire library. Here we are seeing that we come to the reserve book section, and we found a bunch of torn up papers on the floor. And then at this point, the player needs to solve a puzzle of putting those torn up papers together. And after they've done that, they realize that here is the instruction on here is the puzzle on putting the torn up papers together. And once the puzzle is solved, the player will realize that that is a information system checkout form. So that means that the corporate of the who torn out the page, it works for the information systems, and then the player then is guided to the information system. Once again, the Zune hidden in the information system will detect that the player is in the area, and the gameplay will continue. Once in the information system, Sammy speaks with the receptionist and realize that she needs to go to the media lab. And once again, when you go to the media lab, and the Zune inside the media lab will detect that you are there. And at this point, we found the person who torn the page, and Sammy got a little bit excited here and started kicking the person who torn up the page. And the game continued where they decided that this person will go find the page, and Sammy will go find this location. This is a photograph taken from one part of the library, and the player has to find this location where the picture is taken. Of course, that will take the player to the quiet reading room inside the library, and there we found the ping pong paddle that's part of the clue of the game, and the game does end, and the player has toured all the important part of the library. And here's the final clue of putting the torn page back together.